Hi everyone. Oh my Giona here, and it's the weekend. And just because it's end of the school year, it gets really busy at work. So I have lots to do even during the weekend. And so I was thinking, should I just keep doing the things that I have to do, or do I talk about One Piece? Because I didn't get to talk about One Piece a lot when I reacted to it, when I read the chapter yesterday, because it was early and I had to go to work. And so I decided to just do both. So I will be doing my scrapbooking for my children and while talking about One Piece. I actually wrote down notes just so that I could talk about the things I wanted to talk about, or else I would forget. But yeah, so chapter 1015 was titled Chained. And well, it started with us seeing Luffy sinking, you know, sinking to the bottom of the ocean, and all their allies are losing hope just because they know that Luffy is the strongest person in their alliance right now. And if Luffy can't defeat Kaido, who can, right? And so they're starting to lose. They're doubting themselves, right? Like, oh, Kaido's gonna like win again and stuff. And I feel like, especially for the samurai, it was more like going through it again. When Odin lost before, it was like they were all crushed, right? And it took 20 years to have a little bit of hope again of being free. And so I totally get that, why they they would be broken again. And that's exactly what Kaido wants. That's what he does. He breaks people's wills, and then they would lose hope, and it would be easier to manipulate them. But of course, we have Luffy, and I love how Sanji was just, there's no way. I mean, Sanji and Zoro both, like last chapter, they were like, there's no way Luffy's dead. But of course, poor Chopper believed it. And when Sanji appeared, he was like, oh no, Sanji, what are we gonna do? They said that Luffy's dead. And I love the callback to Alabasta, because Sanji said, you know, this happened so many times before, but Luffy always showed us miracles and he always pulled through. Because in Alabasta, when Usopp and Chopper were fighting Miss Merry Christmas and I think Mr. 5, no, Mr. 4, it was the same thing. They were told that Luffy's dead. Crocodile killed him. And they were starting to lose hope. But of course, Luffy survived that. And it was just nice that Sanji told Chopper about that. And then we have Sanji coming in like the awesome guy that he is in the most epic way, carrying Zoro. And like, did he kick Queen? He did. He kicked Queen, and it was so funny and smart because he was kicking him left and right and was actually blocking the arrows. It was so much fun. I'm just so happy that Sanji would finally get a fight that people will probably be satisfied with, hopefully. But it's a really cool matchup just because, well, I mean, before we kind of like assumed that it's gonna be Queen versus Sanji and then King versus Zoro, just because it's like the normal thing to do. But when you think about it, it actually makes so much sense for Sanji to fight Queen because Queen worked with his dad before, with Judge. And I feel like it's gonna be really interesting, like not just fighting wise. I mean, Queen is a dinosaur. And Sanji would oh my gosh, I just thought of this. Sanji would be using his raid suit, but this is probably a modified version because he said before he wants Frankie and Usopp to take a look at it and maybe like change it up a little bit, not make him look like Jorma. And I hope, I wonder how it would look like, but I hope it would be, I don't know, like something really slick and, you know, cool. Because I mean, I like the raid suit, I like Stealth Black. It's pretty cool. It was too superhero for me. But yeah, I'm also hoping to find out more about Vegapunk. Just because Judge Vegapunk, Caesar, and Queen worked together before, and I think I talked about this during like while I was reading chapter 1015, but they all had like the things that they are working on had to do with that lineage factor. And maybe while they're fighting, Queen would be like, yeah, I worked with your dad before and we were doing this. And maybe we will find out a little bit more about Vegapunk. And I was also thinking, if Queen was working on the same thing with them before, then he probably knows at least a little bit about the raid suits and how they work and how to counter them, right? Which would be quite challenging for Sanji, considering that basically the raid suit is a power up for him. But if Queen kind of like knows like a weakness to it, then that would be really interesting. Like, how would Sanji fight? But also, he would be relying more on himself than just the power of the raid suit, which I think I'd like more. I appreciate that Sanji accepted, well, not really accepted, but he was smart enough to use the raid suit for to fight here, even though he doesn't completely accept being Germa. But you know, like, it's just that sometimes you have to accept who you are. Like, he doesn't have to be like them, he doesn't have to be evil like them, but that's who you are. And I mean, it doesn't define him. Like, it just means that his family is Germa, and he can't change that, but he can do better than them. And then we get back to Kinemon and Kaido. I actually thought Kinemon would be dead right away, but he's not. And I mean, like, we saw him just like twitching, and it broke my heart how desperate he was. Like, he couldn't even move that much, but he was grabbing onto his broken sword and trying to stab Kaido, and that was just so heartbreaking. And him like thinking to himself, like, Momo, like, run and save yourself. And then he was thinking back to when they decided that, okay, you have to call me father and you're gonna be my son, and how awkward it was at first. And then they finally made it like comfortable enough to address, like he was not addressing Momo with like sama, and Momo was calling him father. And like just that bond, thinking about all the way from Punk Hazard to now, and like what they've went through. Where's my scissors? Oh gosh, where put my scissors? Dang it, scissors. Like it's just, it breaks my heart. And then Momo having to go through so many deaths in a span of like a few months. That's a lot for like an 8-year-old. And I noticed this while rereading. When Kaido stabbed him with the sword to the back, like the art style, it changed to like just shadow. And remember like when Odin died and he was like oh my gosh, everyone's so loud. When Odin died and he had like this pose, like, and then Kaido shot him on the head, and it was just like a silhouette of him with just shadow, right? And Kinemon was the same. And so now I'm like, no, Kinemon is dead, y'all. No. But that was so cool because, I mean, he kind of died the same, well, not the same way because he was stabbed, but it looked the same as how Odin died. And Odin was probably thinking back then too, like to his scabbards, like go, like run, you know, go to Kuri, open up the land of Wano. And that's probably what no, I'm gonna cry again. What Kinemon was thinking when he got stabbed. And then like I got home after work and I was talking to my sister, like, how did you read the chapter, you know, like what do you feel? And she was telling me like, isn't it sad that Kinemon didn't get to see Suru? And I'm like, oh shoot, no, like dang it, I'm so sad, like, because like Suru was so excited but she didn't get to see him and she waited like 20 years. And then Kinemon was saying like, I should not meet her yet, not until like this is all over, like the war is over. But then if he dies here, like they don't get to meet, and that's just sad. Like he didn't even get to say goodbye when he went to the future. And like dang it, like I don't want these feels. And then Kiku's probably dead. Kanjuro, I don't care. He can die, whatever. Then we finally find out who Momo was hearing. I'm so embarrassed. I was like, it's Zanisha. It's Zanisha. It has to be. But no, it turns out to be Luffy. And while sinking, he was like, Momo, you gotta tell everyone I will come back. And like, if you think about it, that's borderline stupid and delusional, because Luffy has a devil fruit, and you know what happens to them when they are in the water. And like, if you're a normal person, you're gonna be like, dang it, I'm dead. I'm sinking. I'm in the water. I can't even move. Like, who's gonna save me here? Like, you're gonna think like, I need to survive, you know, like, somebody save me, please. But Luffy at that moment was thinking, like, I will be back. He doesn't even know how he's gonna get back because he can't do it on his own. He can't move. But he was like, just you guys wait. Don't worry. I'll be back and I'll defeat Kaido. Like, Luffy, I love you. Oh, Luffy. Dang it. But like, what's so interesting about that though is I wonder if Luffy was just saying that, you know, to like just saying it, not knowing if anybody could hear him, or hoping that Momo would be able to hear him, or he was really sending the message straight to Momo. Because I don't think, I mean, Luffy knows that Momo can hear Zunisha as well, but I don't. Hmm. Well, they did have a little bit of time together to maybe talk about it. Because I feel like when Momo was in Zou, he probably was able to master that, like talking to Zunisha and improving whatever, like the voice of all things that he has. Where's my other thing? Yeah. Because if Momo mastered that and Luffy was aware of it, like they have this like special way to communicate, that would be cool. But we need to see a flashback of that, like how it happened. And like this voice of all things, like we've known about this since Roger. I think it was first mentioned by Rayleigh back in Shabondi. And oops. And we kind of just assumed that Roger hears things, like he hears the voice of things, like how he feels or hears what the poneglyph was saying, even though he can't read it, and he can hear the Sea Kings, and we kind of just assumed that, okay, Luffy has the voice of all things, just like Roger. And then when Momo got it, like when Momo heard Zunisha, I was like, okay, Momo has the voice of all things as well. But what if it's actually just haki, like a different form of it? We know about observation, armament, and conquerors, but what if the voice of all things is actually another kind of haki, or an advanced observation? It's kind of like a little bit different than observation. It goes deeper into it. I don't know. I mean, it's not like it could be like a special power that Roger has. Like, there's no way. It has to make sense. And usually when there's like something unusual, it's like, oh, it's actually haki. So like the voice of all things is probably haki as well. And Luffy is now mastering it. But then we haven't seen other characters do that. So I don't know. If anything, there's only Roger, Luffy, and Momo. And I don't know. The thing about One Piece is that you have all these like theories and you're thinking about all these things, but you never get answers. Or it takes like 10 years. But that's what makes it so satisfying. And it was so cool how Momo was so much braver now than before. Like how he took that frog Mary and told everyone, because especially for the samurai, Momo's words would mean so much more to them. And so it helped them keep their hopes up. Because I mean, even if Sanji says like, Luffy's not dead, you guys just keep fighting, it's gonna be hard for them to believe that. Oh shoot, is this one? Yeah. But with Momo saying it, like, don't lose hope, Luffy's coming back, he said so, and they would all be hyped up again. Like even Marco was like, this is why I love these guys, like they just don't give up. And what's his face, Law even says, like, if there's something I learned about being in an alliance with the Straw Hats is to never say never. And like, oh, that's so much coming from Law, because you know how they started, they were all like rivals, you know. And now Law has spent so much time with Luffy, and he sees that about Luffy, you know, and he's learned like never say never. This dude fought freaking Doflamingo and won, saved Dressrosa, went to Big Mom's territory and survived. And now he's facing against Kaido. I love Luffy. And speaking of Law, his crew... His crew found Luffy. Oh, shoot. And there was that. Oh, see? There's like so many things. I keep forgetting them. When Law's crew found Luffy, they said that there's an aura. Like, well, we can actually see it. That there was an aura around him. And they were saying like, it's like they can hear him even though he's underwater. And that's like super interesting, which is why I'm thinking that it is Haki, because it manifests like, wait, like we can actually see it. Like there was an aura, unless that's just drawn to like emphasize that, but I think it is like we can actually see it. And they were saying it's like you can hear him, but they don't really hear him. And Momo did. Like, what is it? What do you think? Is it like the voice of all things? Is it a kind of Haki? Is it... I don't know. But yeah, them finding Luffy just means that Luffy will be treated and will come back soon. Of course, after we see all the individual fights. And I think Kaido's flashback is incoming. The chapter ended with Yamato yelling, "Kaido!" up the rooftop, and Kaido was like, "You mean father?" And then Yamato said, like, this relationship had chained me for too long, and like now I'm getting out of it. And like, I don't know, this is gonna be super interesting. Like so far I don't like Kaido at all. I hate this dude so much. I don't have any sympathy for him, but I see that changing once the flashbacks are shown, which I feel like it's gonna be soon. The act is probably ending, and then we will see more. And yeah, I wonder, because another thing that's interesting about Kaido, the way he talks, like the things that he says to these people. When he was with Kinemon, he was asked, like, he could just easily kill these people, right? Like, just, I don't know, like hit them and they'd be dead kind of thing. But he prolongs it, and he always tries to break people, like break their will. And he says to Kinemon, like, why? What's the point? Like, you're basically dead. Why are you still trying to do this? And it sounds like, I don't know, like he's asking himself these questions, like, why are these people who are so weak, so much weaker than me, why do they have this much will to survive and like to move forward? But like when we were introduced to Kaido, this dude was trying to kill himself. And we were told that he's been trying to find a place to die. And he's been trying to kill himself so many times, but just he can't die, right? And he sounds like he has some stuff either going on or things he experienced in the past, maybe back when he was in rocks. But it's like I don't like Kaido, but I want to know more, and I want to understand where he's coming from. It's just like the scenes we've seen him in, every time there's this pattern of him trying to break people's will, and then when they don't, he gets super annoyed. Like even with Odin, when Odin was just about to die and you can still see so much life in him, Kaido was like so mad. It's almost like he can't stand Odin being that way, so he had to kill him. Like he says, like, oh, you're dead anyway, so let me finish you. But I feel like he just can't take it that there is a person who is at death's door and is still trying so hard to live, and him who is super strong, nobody can defeat him, he wants to die. Like that's really interesting, and I definitely want to see more. But yeah, and it's like he's looking, oh shoot, wait, and he was saying, like, you know, when Luffy fell down, he was like, I guess you're not Joy Boy either. Like, I don't know. Oh gosh. Like, I just want to know more. And like, this is like a genuine question. Do you ever like try to be healthier, or like eat healthier, exercise more, not drink, because you want to survive until like One Piece is over? Like, I swear, oh my gosh, people can tell me like, you gotta exercise and stuff like that, you gotta eat healthy, but nothing works better than me thinking like, okay, if I don't exercise, if I just eat junk all the time, I will not last until One Piece is over. And like, I can do it. Like, if I die before One Piece ends, I would stay in this world as a ghost, a wandering soul, just so I could finish it, just to read the last chapter. Like, there's no freaking way I would come back from the dead just for that. Like, I swear. Please tell me that you guys feel the same way. I don't, or am I just crazy? Because like, for real, like, if anything, the reason I can't die is because One Piece is not over yet. Imagine like dying, not knowing how it ends. Like, dang, man, I pray for those people's souls that they won't get to see like the end of One Piece. It breaks my heart just thinking about it. Like, it's just so awesome. So many questions not answered yet, and I want to know. But yeah, oh my gosh. See, I didn't even finish like one scrapbook. It's so hard to multitask. But yeah, no break next week, so we'll get to see another chapter. And yeah, thank you for listening to my ramblings and me just watching me being distracted and stuff. But yeah, hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you again next week for 1016. Stay safe, everyone. Bye bye.